So as a business, you need a strategy, and social media is just one arm of online marketing. A lot of people have been saying, oh, social media is brilliant, you know, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Yes, but are you forgetting about everything else that connects to your website? Where I normally start with my clients is analysing their website traffic to understand the performance of their website first, because that is key to really understanding how your customers interact with you in an online space. But social media is a tool, and it is a great channel to drive traffic and drive engaged visitors to your website. But you shouldn't forget about online PR or even offline advertising, because offline advertising can be very good for increasing your brand awareness and driving people back to your website. But it's always important to remember there's more to just online marketing than social media. So the first thing you need to do is identify your goals and priorities. So just to give you some ideas of some success metrics in online marketing, basically you might look to improve your corporate reputation. So if you don't think people have a good opinion of your brand, then that might be one reason you might want to get involved in social media to change that factor. You might want to increase the conversations around your brand, so people are talking more about your products and services, because that's what a lot of people do. They go on Twitter and places like Facebook to really let people know what they do and tell them about their business and tell them about their products, and then through that they establish relationships with people. You might want to improve your site conversions as well, and you can do that by driving any traffic to a website in the hope that through Twitter and Facebook that you might see some sales and conversions. And again, improving customer relationships, and for me this is really key to what Twitter can be used for very effectively. You'll see brands like Vodafone and some of the major retailers using Twitter as an extension of their customer services team, because of the way it's so quick and people can instantly reply and say, yes, we're sorting out your issues. But that has been one of the major uses for Twitter for larger brands. And increasing inbound links, because Twitter itself and Facebook are very good content distribution networks. So if all of you in here are doing any form of online PR or offline PR, then if you've got some content, press release may it be, or blog or article that you've written, you can use Twitter once you've established a network to really get that content out there. And I found this to be a very good way of spreading the information about your business. And again, final one, website traffic. And that's what a lot of people use Twitter for, because it's an easy way to generate increased traffic to your website. 2, you should be targeting a few social media sites. Don't do everything. You need to understand if you're going to blog or not to blog. And I say blog because a blog gives you a space where you can regularly update your content. You can tell people about your message and the conversation around your business, but also you can reuse that content on any social network to improve your visibility and to get that content out to other people who might particularly use it. And you should always go to where your audience is. And to explain, Facebook is more B2C rather than being B2B and more conversational like Twitter is. But Twitter also does a lot of B2B and B2C. And LinkedIn is a professional network for business people, so you're not going to do much retail-y stuff there in terms of being very fun and exciting. It's more sales driven because of its nature as a B2B network. You've got to find the right tools to help you, and this quote says, you are the tool for social media and Twitter is just an app for you to grow and influence your society. And grow and influence is the key words you should pick out of this. It's what you do in a social space is really to improve your influence, but also to show that you're authority around the topic of conversation. Professional social media tools, so I'm looking at free versus paid. So to give you an understanding of some free tools that you can use, there's TweetDeck for Windows and Mac, which allows you to manage your tweets, schedule tweets, and also manage multiple accounts. There's also Tweety for Mac, which if any of you using Macs in here, that's a Twitter application. Again, that allows you to post new messages, check your replies, and also manage multiple profiles. And there's also 2 others, a search engine called Tweetfeel, which is basically a real sentiment search engine. And it allows you to type any keyword or brand, and you can see real-time positive or negative feedback around that keyword or topic. So I always like to, I don't particularly like Vodafone, so I always like typing them in because it's always 80% negative versus 20% positive. But it just gives you opinion, so if you wanted to know what someone was talking about, a particular subject or a brand, you can see what the general opinion from people is. And then there's also Monitor, which allows you to track hashtags and also track keywords around a conversation. So if you wanted to monitor a particular keyword for a product, then you can use Monitor in that way to try and track and understand the conversation. And there's some paid models. Now, I use some of these for my clients. The Hootsuite, which is a professional social media management tool, and it allows you to track the number of clicks on your tweets and also integrate this with your website analytics, so you can actually real-time see how many people have clicked a tweet and how many times you've got an increase of traffic or how many times someone's looked at a particular page of content on your website. And again, you can manage more than just Twitter accounts on there. It's Facebook and other accounts as well. And there's CodeTweet. CodeTweet's the one that most professional retailers and businesses use because it allows a team of people, be it your marketing staff or be it your sales team, to actually manage one Twitter account or multiple Twitter accounts at the same time. And then finally there's Tweezia, which I'm part of the blogging team around, which is a Twitter application tool which allows you to understand the power of your network and how interested you are with your subscribers and the people who are following you. And it also allows you to analyze how many times you've tweeted and how many times people are talking about you, and to track your links and what's being said. So you need to set time in your schedule for social media, and people always say, yes, it's free, yeah, great, it's free, we love it, free's brilliant, but how much time are you actually spending on these social networks? I see people on there every day and I think, are you doing any work at all? You know, you're just tweeting all day, but if it's paying off for you, then that's absolutely fair enough, but more often than not, you need to figure out what time equals money in terms of social media spend. And you also need to put the right people in control. So there's no point you going, oh, my grandson's on Facebook, he's been on there for 20 all his life. He knows Facebook off the back of his hand. No, you need to put people in because someone has to own it, someone has to monitor it, track it and analyze it. And I would never pass social media off to junior members of staff and execs, because even though they might be comfortable with the space, it still needs measurement. That's the key thing, because no one really is measuring social media at the moment. You need to put your maestro in charge, and if you don't have a maestro, then you need to go out and hire one, someone who can help you measure this space and the time you spend on it, even if it's how many people are clicking on your tweets, just to understand if anyone is listening or if anyone is actually responding to what you're doing. You need to move quickly, be first or be last. And one of the key things for me is you need to make sure that your brand is not being taken by anyone else. So you need to go out and secure your, what we call web property or web identity. So if your business is joeblogs.com, make sure someone else can't get Twitter/joeblogs. And a lot of brands have been slow to do this. And Vodafone, for example, and a few others haven't got the primary brand name they want because someone's gone on and squatted before them and nicked it off them. So, and it doesn't look professional either once you get there and you have to call yourself the daddy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because your brand name's been taken. So you need to focus on quality over quantity. It's not a popularity contest, people, but you'll see people with 10,000 followers and 10,000 people following them. And that doesn't work because you have to be engaged with your audience. So if 10 people are engaged with you, that's better than having 10,000 people who aren't listening to a single thing you're saying. You know, it's all really about focusing on quality connections. And what I do is, once I've got a piece of content, I go find authorities in my industry to talk to, and I ask them about the content and if they're interested, in the hope that they will spread that message and they will retweet that to their followers, because I'm authority, but other people have even bigger authorities than me. And in this particular instance, I got retweeted by Dr. Dave Chaffee, who's one of the leading experts of digital marketing in the country, and I ended up on realbusiness.co.uk, which was, again, free press for me. And if it's free press for me, it can be free press for you guys. So when you're thinking about building a loyal following on Facebook, if you've got a fan page, or if you have a Twitter account for your business, you need to build relevance. Just talk you through these points. Follow authorities in your industry, so that's people who are respected about what they do in your topic of conversation or your niche. And it's not a popularity contest, as I said before. You need to build loyal fans and followers, so engage with people who you think can help your business or are particularly interested in your products. Focus on building relationships, because that is what social media is about. It's about communication and using it as a networking tool to expand your business contacts and to expand your customer database by making relationships with people. And you don't need to just follow anyone. Follow people who you think are relevant and you're interested in what they're talking about. If someone follows you and you think, oh great, I've got a new follower, I've got a new fan, that's fantastic. But if they're talking about gardening and you do something completely different to that, are you necessarily going to respond and talk to them about what they're talking about on Twitter? Just to give you some ideas about content creation as well, because content is very important for social media. This is an open source software called WordPress, which originally started as a blogging platform, but is now an open source CMS. But WordPress is one of the easiest ways to get a website up if you haven't got one, or to add a blog. And it's very easy to use because they're free themes and they're free websites already built by professional web designers for you to plug into the system and use. And this is one thing I try and sell to my clients a lot, because you can save thousands of pounds by using WordPress. And the websites don't look bad at all. In fact, they look a lot better than most professional website designers can come out with. And 200 million websites now built on WordPress, which represents 10% of the entire web, which is fantastic.